guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and today I'm back with another episode in what you can get from that pack series. So today the pack in question is indeed the I almost said Porsche. I'm so used to saying Porsche carbon fibers, but the 90s carbon fiber. As you can see, as of recording this video, there is 1 day and 16 hours left for you to get this pack. So still some time for you to decide whether you want to do it or not. One of the reasons why this pack is out right now, as you can see here, we have the 911 GT1 race car pre-eliminations, and if you haven't seen, the requirements for that are indeed 90s cars, two of them being British. So today I'm going to tell you what you can get from this pack and whether or not it's, a good investment or not. And with that said, I want to say for the finals, it is confirmed. It is UK's 90s car, 5 UK 90s car, no price cars. So if you guys want to know what UK 90s cars you can get, I've already made a video about it, and you can go check it out in one of my other videos. I'll post a link in the description below, and also it will be in the suggested video section at the end of the video, so you can just click that and get straight into it. Anyway, this is probably the biggest pack I am going to review in my what you can get from that pack series. So without further ado, let's get into it, and yeah, let's try and get through all 64 of the cars as quickly as possible. So starting off, we have the TVR Griffith 4.3. Nothing too special about this. I think the only thing that really sets it aside is the low 0 to 60, as well as that style icon tag. Not a lot of cars have that, and I don't know why this TVR Griffith has it, because I don't know. When you ask me, it doesn't look much of a style icon. It looks like a tomato. Moving on is the Mercedes-Benz E500. Has the sleeper tag, amazing MRA, but however, if it has the sleeper tag, it probably means it has amazing MRA and kind of crappy stats on paper, and it does. 5.80 to 60 is not the best, and it doesn't really have any handling for an ultra rare car. Most German cars, obviously top speed is 155 because of the limiter, so that really can't be judged upon. Moving on, we have 3 RX-7s. We have the Type RZ, the Type RS, and the Spirit R. In my opinion, at least from what I've seen, the Mazda RX-7 Type RS, or the red Mazda RX-7, is the best out of the bunch, out of the 4, but now out of the 3, since one of them got downgraded into super rare. Moving on from the Mazdas, we have the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 SS. If you guys know, I have a lot of ultra rare Chevrolets in my garage, and a lot of them are actually maxed out too. And I think there are about 2 Chevrolets I just haven't really bothered to invest in because they've just been so underwhelming. And one of them is actually the Camaro Z28. The other one is the Corvette C5. This has the American Dream tag, muscle car tag, and it has, top speed is kind of eh. Handling is kind of eh. It's just an eh car, really. It's fused material. Moving on is the BMW 540i. Speaking of fused material, the next one is too, the other BMW 540i with the German Renaissance tag. Moving on, now we are in the RQ20. We have the Vauxhall Calibra Turbo 4-wheel drive. Now, guys, this is also a British car, so if you do get this from the 90s pack, do keep it around for the finals because you're going to need it. Next is the TVR Chimera 5.0, also a British car, so if you have it, keep it around. I had one, but then I fused it, but then that was a long time ago. If you guys remember, I got this car in my 1.5 million pack opening back in April. So it's been a while, but if I do get this car again, I'll probably invest in it because it's a nice looking car. This car should get the style icon tag, in my opinion, not the Griffith. It's, a bit faster, 0 to 60, higher top speed. I don't know what the handling is compared to the Griffith, but, most TVRs don't have a lot of good handling anyway. Moving on is the Porsche 911 Carrera, nothing too special about that one. Next is the Pontiac Trans Am 30th anniversary. Now, I have a soft spot for Pontiac in the game. I don't know why. I feel like they're just the dark horse of American cars. With that said, I mean that in a way that a lot of Porsches actually have better MRA than you think. I don't know what the MRA is on this exact Pontiac Trans Am 30th anniversary, but I would love it because I have the other version, which is like the yellow one. I don't know what the difference is. I think the yellow one is a 25th anniversary. I'm not sure. But basically, they have just about the same stats. What makes this car one RQ higher is it also has medium ground clearance. So this is a car I'm waiting to have in my garage. And obviously, it has that beautiful classic Pontiac color scheme of that kind of navy blue and white. I think it's beautiful. Moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 1. It's a nice car. Followed by that is the Mercedes E430, opposite of a nice car, it's fused material. Moving on is the Mazda Cosmo, a car I never see around, but people say it's really good. And looking at it, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a standard tire, medium ground clearance car that goes up to 89 handling. What can go wrong? Moving on is the Lancia Delta Integrale Evolution, or however you pronounce that. Is it Evolutionne? No, it's Evolution. That sounds French. The second time I tried to say it. But yeah, underwhelming car. The Evolution 2 is obviously the better one, so invest in that instead of this. Moving on is the Honda NSX, and it has one of the most accurate tags out of any car in the game. Team favorite. This car is a team favorite. I mean, MRA is like decent. It's not good. It's not bad. This kind of is just a not good but not bad car. Handling is not good, not bad. Top speed, not good, not bad. 0 to 60 is like not good, not. It's a mediocre car. But I love the NSX in real life, and I have one maxed out. It goes up to about 93 handling, which is. Yeah, I'm gonna stop saying, but it's not good, not bad. Anyway, moving on is the Ford Escort RS Cosworth. Once again, if you have this car, do keep it around your garage because you're gonna need it for the finals. It's crazy. This car is the definition of glow up. Used to be super rare RQ18, and it moved up to 20. Probably because of the medium ground clearance and the four-wheel drive and the decent handling for a medium ground clearance four-wheel drive car. It's not bad. It's not a bad car. Moving on is indeed another great style icon. And that is the Dodge Viper RT10. Love this car. Only thing bad about it is the weak 0 to 60, but it actually has decent. It's the weak MRA, but it actually has decent 0 to 60. Handling could be a little better. I would expect a little better from a Viper, but I'll take the 80. Moving on is the BMW M3. This is a car that I've wanted to max out forever. I've had this in my garage for the longest time. I have it locked, but I've never really invested in it. And I think if I don't get any good ultra rares in the near future, because I'm actually out of key ultras that I want to max. I'm actually at the point where I'm just maxing out ultras to get rid of super rares. So currently, while I'm recording this video, I'm actually working on my Murano GTC, which some people may argue, and I can see why, it's actually a very good SUV. But my Pontiac Torrent has been doing the job for me, as well as my Colorado ZR2. So never really had the urge to max out that GTC, but you know, it's on the way now. I already have the handling maxed out. It hits 85, so kind of reminiscent of the Cadillac XT5. But moving on is the Audi S2 Coupe. It's literally an Audi I never see. I don't know if anybody even owns this, and if they do, then I don't even know why. Yeah, this is fused material. But moving on is the TVR Griffith 500, which looks nicer than the other Griffith, and it doesn't have the style icon. I don't know why. 4.60 to 60, 76 handling at a top speed of 157. Moving on is the TVR Subaru Speed 6, which was the Tier 2 prize car for the qualifiers, and it's the only UK 90s Ultra Rare I have, because I've yet to fuse it. Handling for the TVR is a bit on the high side at 77, so maxed out probably 86. And the 0 to 60, 4.4 is always strong. I'm thinking if you max this baby out, it'll probably hit 3.7 or 3.6. Not bad, really. I mean, 3.7, 3.6, you're kind of on the same 0 to 60 as a BTR, almost. BTR is 3.6. If you max out a BTR 996, and it's 3.5, but you get what I mean. Moving on is the Mercedes AMG SL73, one of my favorite Mercedeses of all time. This thing maxed out, hits 3.6. Moving on is the Lancia Delta Integrale Evolution 2. This is the Lancia I was talking about. Don't invest in the other Lancia in this pack. Invest in this one. This is the best Lancia in the game, so it's kind of a no-brainer. Team favorite, driver's choice. You know, driver's choice events kind of pop up pretty regularly too, so that tag is very useful. Moving on is the Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. Once again, it has that medium ground clearance four-wheel drive capability, and I feel like the finals would have some city streets or some rain, just so these cars can be utilized, especially since there are a couple medium ground clearance cars, but obviously they're going to be drags as well to cater to the McLarens, and that will be later in the video. Moving on is the Dodge Stealth RC Twin Turbo. Obviously, you can't use it in the finals, but if you do get this from the pack, do me a favor and keep it. It's actually really strong, and it's one of the main reasons why I have my BMW M4 GTS. It's a very good car, actually. Max out 4.10 to 60 and 89 handling. Four-wheel drive as well, but it is low. Moving on is the Chevrolet C5, which is the other ultra rare Chevrolet that I will not max. I'm just not a fan of this one. I like C5s in real life, but it's kind of just that meh car. It's once again not good, not bad. I maxed out, I think it's 89 handling and like 4.20 to 60, which is really 4.20 to 60 isn't what I'm looking for in a car like this, especially when you have the TVRs that can do the job so much better at just the cost of maybe like 3 points less in handling. But moving on is actually a Corvette I like a lot, and that is the Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport from 1996. Now there's a huge difference in stats: 80 to 85, 4.8 to 5.2, and 172 to 165. This car, you want to use it for the twisty stuff. Max out, it hits 94 handling, and that's what I like to see in a Corvette. Moving on is the BMW M Coupe. This one's actually pretty good. This one's actually very strong. I have one, I think, 969, and I know CMG hates this, but I actually like this car a lot, called the Clown Shoe. Max out, 89 handling, 3.6, 0 to 60. I like low 0 to 60 times on my ultra rares, so 3.6 is very, very nice. Moving on is the Subaru Impreza WRX. It's not the greatest car. It has a very, very embarrassing 0 to 60. It's very slow. The handling is kind of meh. What really sets it apart as well, it's one of the best ultra rare Subarus. I think it is the best ultra rare Subaru. I think it's the only ultra rare Subaru. Wait, no, Tribeca. Horrible car. But yeah, medium ground clearance, four-wheel drive. It has the driver's choice and the motorsport tag, which are two tags you see pretty often. So that's what makes the car useful. Moving on, continuing with the RQ22s with the Roof 3400S, as well as the Porsche 968 Turbo. I want this car so bad. It has such good MRA. Moving on is the Porsche 911 RS, also has amazing MRA, and the Nissan Skyline GTR R33. It has low ground clearance. Just wanna, let you guys know. It also has the innovative tag and the street racer tag. The street racer tag is pretty rare, but events for it do show up from time to time. Moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4. This is a car I really, really want as well. It has amazing handling. It has good 0 to 60, four-wheel drive, medium ground clearance. It's a very, very, very good car. Moving on is the Lotus Esprit S4. This is a car on my wish list. I've never gotten one before, and I really want one in my garage. Mainly because, like I said in my last video when I talked about all of the 90s UK cars you can get, this car's just rad. It's cool. I like it. Moving on is the Lotus Carlton, which is a sleeper, and that concludes the ultra rares. Let's move on to the epics. Oh wait, I am wrong. We have the BMW M5, which is indeed my favorite ultra rare BMW in the game, and also my first ever ultra rare in the game. No, it's the oldest ultra rare I have in my garage. My first ever ultra rare, I think it was either this one or another BMW. I think it was the X3. I can't remember though. Oh wait, no, there's another one. Audi S4. This is the last ultra rare, I promise. All right, moving on to the epics is the Porsche 911 Turbo, as well as the Porsche 911 GT3, which has the driver's choice tag. Both Porsches are pretty underwhelming at RQ23, but all RQ23 epics are underwhelming. The only good ones are the ones that are RQ22 and got upgraded because you already have them maxed. Next, the Nissan Skyline GTR R34, icon in real life, but kind of meh in the game. Actually, really meh in the game. Moving on is the Lotus Esprit Sport 350. Once again, it's probably going to be pretty useless besides the final, right? So you only want it for the final. After that, it's really just, yeah, it's not that useful. I used to have one fused into my McLaren 12C. I had one long time ago. I'm pretty sure that video is actually on my channel, one of my first ever pack openings probably. Moving on is the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, followed by the Audi RS2, which has the sleeper tag, but I tell you what, don't even care about the sleeper tag because this car sucks. Moving on is the Roof RCT. Used to have it, max it out, fuse it into Hollywood. Followed by the GMC Typhoon and its better older brother, the GMC Cyclone. Actually, younger brother, 1991 and 93. Hopefully the car gets the buff it deserves because that 0 to 60 is wrong. It's supposed to be like 4.5. Moving on is the BMW Nazca C2. Now this is one of those cars where it's kind of the opposite of a sleeper. Sleeper car means it has, really crap on paper statistics but really good MRA. This one has really good on paper statistics but really bad MRA, which I think is still better than the other way around. It's a good car for the twisties, that's all I can say. Moving on is the Volkswagen W12 Synchro and the Volkswagen W12 Roadster. So yeah, if you want some pretty good German Renaissance epics, if you consider this pretty good, then this might be the pack for you. Next is the Roof BTR2, which is an amazing roof with amazing MRA. I think it's the second best epic roof in the game, followed by the Roof R Compressor. I love that name. Moving on is the Porsche 911 Turbo. Love this car in real life. I hate it in the game. Has really bad MRA. When I mean really bad, I mean 82. But it also has weak handling, and I don't know. I don't really like this car. I have one. Moving on is the Caterham JPE, and that concludes the epics you can get from this pack. Let's move on to the big boys, the legendaries. We start off with the Jaguar XJR15, followed by the Nissan R390 GT1 road car. It'd be pretty nice to get this car from the pack, even if you don't get the 911 GT1 race car, because you're going to get a GT1 road car for Nissan, which is pretty cool. Moving on is the McLaren F1 GT, the McLaren F1, and the McLaren F1 LM. Not going to talk a lot about these cars because I already did when I reviewed all the 90s UK's car in the game. Followed by that is the Ford GT90, as well as the Bugatti EB110 Super Sport and the Bugatti EB110 GT. The last car you can get really is the cream of the crop here. This is the car that you want to get if you open this pack because it's so good. The Roof CTR2 has a 0 to 60 of 3.3. Handling is pretty weak, but it's a high top speed. 4-wheel drive and an MRA of 110, which is a lot. Anyway, guys, that was a lot of cars. 64 of them. I don't think I'm going to do a little swipe back review, should I? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's do it really quickly. So pause the video whenever you like to see what car you want to see. There are a lot of cars in this pack, but I'll give you my verdict in a bit once we run out. I think we're in the 19s soon. Yeah, we saw the Griffith. So anyway, my verdict: should I open this pack or will I open this pack? The answer is no. I'm not gonna open one. Should you open this pack? Honestly, no. It's not guaranteed to help you in the final, so I might as well just tell you to wait for the UK 90s carbon fibers if what your endgame goal is to get to win the GAR Tier 1 for the Porsche 911 in the finals. I can't speak today. But yeah, if your goal is to get that Porsche, don't open this pack. Just wait for the 90s UK ones. If you just want a decent 90s UK car, I mean, if you just want a decent 90s car, then yeah, go for it, but I'm not going to recommend it. Why I don't recommend it is because it's kind of like a 50-50 in this pack. You know, some packs you have more good cars than bad, like the Motorsport and the Driver's Choice, and some packs you have more bad than good, like basically any French pack in the world. And this pack is kind of 50-50. You have some really good cars and you have some really bad cars. So I don't know if you want to take that risk, but I will not. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate the support, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.